Hey, here's how you might be able to close some more sales calls. If you're taking inbound leads, let's say you market on Facebook, Instagram, Meta, you get leads in and they book discovery calls or demo calls. And so you or a sales team is taking sales calls in order to make sales and drive revenue in your business. This video hopefully should help you. Hey, what's up? My name is Taylor, a serial entrepreneur. I'm in my third or fourth seven-figure business where we're selling again online. I've been selling online on the phone or Zoom from Facebook ads since 2013. So I'm like one of those old guys probably now. After 10,000 sales calls, I feel like I've learned a few things and I just wanna share those things with you guys right now. So there's three core things that I'm gonna cover. The third one is definitely probably the most important. These three things are definitely very integral, at least for me in my companies and having built sales teams of 24 people inside of our companies, what we've seen work and help us. So the first thing is having a proper sales structure. Now, what does that mean? The leads come in, so you've got marketing qualified leads, you've got name, email, maybe phone number, you've got basically a lead. Where is that coming from? And then how is that qualified through the marketing to then get to a salesperson? And then what does the sales team do from there with the leads to turn them into SQLs, sales qualified leads, right? Where these are people who have intent to buy. Obviously, you've got the inbound leads, and then you might have two teams. This is what I normally do, is have a setting team, an SDR team that develops those leads, gets contract and gets payment. So inbound leads, for them to be truly a marketing qualified lead, in my opinion, they need to have 4 levels of awareness through the marketing. And this is where you might be getting maybe not the right people in your sales process at the beginning. So they need to be problem aware, solution aware, product aware, and brand aware. The company I have now is in the real estate investing space. So what's the problem for investors? They're not making enough money from their real estate investing. Okay, so are they aware of that? Or maybe it's another variation, like I'm not doing enough deals, or like I don't have enough properties in my portfolio, or like I don't have enough cash flow. So are they problem aware? Then solution aware. Okay, real estate investing is the solution to making more money, right, in that scenario. And maybe it's even a sub niche like flipping and wholesaling. It's okay, flipping and wholesaling through real estate is the way I'm going to make more money and solve my problem. So they're solution aware. Product aware is, do they need skill acquisition? Do they need mentorship? Do they need accountability? What are the various aspects of the product that they're needing to solve for that problem that they have? And then finally, are they brand aware? Because there has to be a level of trustworthiness, right, and certainty for people to want to transact with you. Otherwise, they might feel like it's a scam, or like, why should I listen to you? All that kind of stuff. Okay, so you got your inbound MQLs, your leads. So you got lead flow. Then you want to triage these MQLs because you want to transition them to the calendar to be sales qualified leads. So to simplify, and this is not going to be an all-encompassing video for setting appointments, but on our SDR side of the team, when we build an SDR team, the 2 core things that they're going after, I guess I should maybe say 3, is this lead qualified for the solutions that we sell? Are they problem aware? Like they are connected to a problem that we solve for? And are they open to change? Because that means they have intent to solve this. So if they have those 3 things, and obviously there's a conversation, it's anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes, they get triaged, and so now they're qualified for the sales calendar, so now they're in SQL. Okay, now that they're in SQL, how do you get them to show? There's some different things I found that does increase show rate quite significantly. There's 7 or 8 different ways. This is not an all-encompassing video. You can check out my other one on increasing no-shows. This one would be, the 3 core things are, do not let people book more than 2 days into the future. B2B, you can stretch that to maybe 3 to 5 days. But the further out you guys book, you let the prospect book, the less likely they are to show. So that's number 1. Make sure there's ample calendar availability. If there's not a lot of time options, people are gonna select options in spite of what's there, and so they don't show because that was not their ideal time. You need plenty of options for people to choose from. And then you need to confirm appointments and get them in movement. So what do? Immediately when SQL is booked, We have a templated email that gets sent to that prospect. It says very important email before the call. This is gonna help you. And it's basically some additional content or marketing collateral so that we want them consuming, getting warmed up further. Maybe there's some social proof in there, right? And then they respond to the email so we know that they watched it. And then we send a text, hey, I sent you an important email, did you get it? And this helps get prospects in movement so that they are engaging with us and they're more likely to show up on this SQL. All right, so that's the proper sales structure. Number 2, sales process. So now that they're in the sales process, what are the core components of success during the sales process? Again, this is not gonna be all encompassing. I'm just gonna flash through some important points so you guys can pull this stuff and actually start using it. Number 1 is you gotta maintain low sales resistance with the prospect. What does that mean? You gotta throw out all of this stupid language like, this is what we're gonna do. Hey, we're gonna have a talk, and at the end, I just need a decision. Or, hey, we're gonna show you what our product does and you can let us know if you love it or not. Like, you don't want people thinking they're in a sales process. You don't want them thinking that. What you want them feeling is this is a very relaxed, detached, invasive conversation. It needs to feel very casual. And so we just make sure to use very neutral language, tonality that's a bit more detached, less excited, because we want to do opposite things that people normally associate with a salesperson so they don't feel like they're in a sales process, because that's how we get people to slowly open up. Because if they open up, we get the real problems. If we get the real problems, we can give them the real solutions. Now, during the sales process, you do need to create a big gap, meaning where are they at now? And are they connected to the fact that they don't like it? They don't like where they're at. So there's a line of questions that we use to help people get associated to that. Where do they want to be? And why aren't they already there? And why can't they do it themselves? There's something called the buyer pocket, right? Which is, I'm not hopeless. I know if I make some change, I can have the success that I want. And then on the other end, we don't want them feeling like, if this is so easy, I can just do it myself. We want them in between. Not outside hopelessness, but not outside, I can do this without you. So we want them inside those two constraints. Part of that also is getting them connected to a cost of inaction, right? So we'll use different consequence questions near the end of the sales process. So you can be real with me based on our conversations, sounding if you're not able to make any sort of change, and I guess you maybe continue doing what you've been doing with the results that you've seen, do you feel like you're gonna hit those goals that you just told me? And almost everyone's no. So that way they're feeling like, what happens when I don't make a change? These bad things happen. If we can extrapolate actual costs, like financial costs, that's really good. Then you gotta make sure in your presentation, it's short. Long presentations, bad. Because ultimately people don't care about your bells and whistles, they care about the results that your bells and whistles provide. So you typically wanna be high level, and you also wanna be custom, right? You wanna feel like you've packaged this presentation in a way where the person's, you guys built this for me, right? Now, obviously it's productized and it's not custom, but it should be presented in a customized way. Then you do need to have an objection handling process. And in my experience, honestly, 90% of sales in objections. Even when you pre-handle, and I've gone through all the different sales training and sales pros. It's like, you pre-handle all the objections, you don't get them. No, you still get that, trust me. Especially if you're gonna be selling non-commoditized, high-priced coaching, consulting services like this. So we have an objection handling tree where it's like, there are 3 main objections. There's a delay, there's money, and then there's spouse. Inside each of those, there's logistical. It's like, this is logistically, like truly like a delay, because like I'm on vacation without a cell phone, or like I'm deployed for 3 more weeks and I don't have access to internet. Like, that's logistical. Versus fear would be like, I'm afraid I'm gonna make a bad decision, so I'm gonna tell you I need to get back to you, right? So there's literally logistical and fear in each of those 3 categories. And there is a way to handle logistical first, so you make sure it's not logistical. Plus, people tend to think that their objection or concern is logistical. It's hard to admit that it's actually coming out of fear. And so you have to, again, open them up slowly by going after logistical first and then going into fear. So you have a sales process. That is a proper sales process. If you want me to go in more depth, comment below, sales process. That's cool. Okay, the third thing, and this is, I think, the most important with making sales today, is having the right solution and price pairing based on what the marketing is bringing in. So if you're marketing qualified leads, like for example, right now, our marketing qualified leads, we have two avatars. We have a more experienced investor, and then we have more of a newbie investor. When we're going through the triaging process, we realize which one of those avatars they are, and then we actually sell a product with a price point that is more digestible to that avatar. For example, you are selling some sort of business opportunity like day trading or an MLM or crypto or starting an agency or Amazon FBA, whatever the opportunity is to make more money on the side hustles. If that's what you're selling, typically the person who's had businesses in the past and they just had a 9-to-5 again recently, they're gonna be much more certain about the success and results they'll have. You could probably sell a higher price thing to that person, like an 8, 10, 12, whatever, $1,000 thing, versus the person who's never started a business ever, and they've been in low level type of jobs and they don't have a whole lot of experience. Their certainty level is gonna be lower. The results will probably be lower. So you might wanna think about selling a lower priced item so that your conversion percentage is a bit higher. Because at the end of the day, especially when you start scaling and you have a sales team, you're trying to maximize the throughput of cash, right? And if you're only gonna close 1 out of 20 people on a $15,000 item, imagine the amount of burned hours you have to go through with yourself or a sales team to make 15K. Versus if your conversion's 50% on a $3,000 item, you're actually gonna end up making more cash, even though it's less cash per sale, because the conversion is higher. You're putting through more cash. So you have to find that sweet spot of cash and conversion, or price point and conversion. But we could go into pricing models and monetization and stuff in another video. If you want me to do that, put price in the comments. But hopefully this was helpful to you. If you're doing sales in 2024, you're selling stuff online, people book in calls on your calendar from social media ads. Hopefully this helps. Again, my name is Taylor. Peace out.